There is no Touhou game that has a bigger legacy than Touhou 6, Embodiment of the Scarlet Devil. It brought Touhou onto Windows, it introduced some of the series' most popular characters, and it features some of ZUN's most iconic music tracks. But that still leaves a question. How does Touhou 6 function as a product? Legacy is important, but so is the quality of a game. So, let's take a look at this 20-year-old bullet hell. Let's review Touhou 6. Story. Touhou Project means Eastern Project, and up to this point had almost exclusively taken elements from Eastern mythology. But with the first Touhou game ever on Windows, ZUN wanted to make it distinct, so Touhou 6 is weird. It's a game starring a shrine maiden where you fly to a western mansion. Along the way, you fight a fairy, a maid, and a vampire. So, Touhou 6 immediately tries to grab the player's attention with contrast. As for the actual plot motivation, a scarlet mist has enveloped the sky. It's blocking the sun, which makes things cold, stops photosynthesis. It could spread too far if it's left untouched. Yada yada yada, go stop it. It's a premise that sounds a bit surreal when compared to other series, but it fits right in with Touhou. And in terms of the story we get, Touhou 6 might have some of the weirdest dialogue you'll ever read. Take Marisa's comment when she beats Cirno. Man, short sleeves aren't such a good idea here. I should find a place that serves tea soon. First off, who talks like that? Second off, take a look at the BGM name of the next stage. A joke that's set by a song title. That's just one of the many ways Touhou 6's dialogue perplexes. She's releasing too much mist, it's kinda troubling. Then I absolutely cannot allow you to see the mistress. I won't let you get in my way. By the way, who are you? I'd argue the dialogue here is weirder than any other Touhou game before and after this. But that might be on purpose. The offbeat dialogue contributes to the strangeness of the entire journey, and strangeness is what ZUN's shooting for. Whether or not you enjoy this strangeness, however, will vary. I'm somewhere in the middle personally. While the game's writing is fine for me, it's nothing that's groundbreaking or laugh out loud funny. I think Touhou does a better job managing witty dialogue in later games, where the characters sound a bit less weird. Graphics. Oh boy. So I've explained in the past that one of the great things Touhou 6 did for the series is add more colors. The PC-98 computers were limited in the amount of colors they could display on screen, so Touhou 6 takes advantage of its newer hardware. Bullet patterns come in a wide variety of colors to help give each fight its own sense of visual identity. Rainbow Wind Chime is probably the best example of how colors are able to help this game stand out. But the actual bulk of the main game does look pretty rough. The backgrounds are often pretty drab, and the character artwork... Oh man. I've used this picture a lot, but it illustrates something. ZUN made all of Touhou 6 pretty much by himself. This is admirable, but he is not an artist by trade, so the character art is left looking less than stellar. But there is a part that goes back to what I think is Touhou 6's biggest graphical strength. Even though I'm not a fan of the actual artwork, ZUN does a pretty great job at choosing colors for the girls' clothes. Besides maybe Rumiya and Marisa feeling a bit similar, each outfit uses nice colors and helps each character stand out. Gameplay. Touhou 6 is a bullet hell, a genre that features a lot of, well, bullets. As a disclaimer, I play Touhou games on normal mode, and I have indeed one coin cleared this game, meaning I've beaten the game with no continues with default settings. So, with all that being said, gameplay is where I think Touhou 6 really shines. The game opens off on a dark night, with a surprisingly cheery song easing you into the game's world. the game doesn't go too crazy with the bullets at first, allowing players to get accustomed to whichever character they picked. The power items the player accumulates matches the slowly raising stakes. The boss fight also continues to match this scale, with Rumia's attacks being a bit more dangerous than the rest of the stage. The simplicity of the game's opening stands in contrast to some other games in the series. Unlike many other Touhou games, there's no secondary mechanic to learn. There's no different bullets based on your season, and there's no item collection system needed to get a ton of bomb pieces. Touhou 6 has you shooting, dodging, and using bombs. If you get good at all of those, then that's all you need. This simplicity is what helps make Touhou 6 fun to play, even after 11 games of iteration. It's a game you can just jump into. Another thing this game lacks is a visible hitbox when you press the shift key to move slow. Every other Touhou shmup after this game has a visible hitbox. Touhou 6 doesn't. Since you can't see your hitbox, Touhou 6's bullet formations are often a bit less dense than other Touhou games. But less bullets doesn't necessarily mean an easier game. Instead, the bullets often move in unique ways, leading to the player finding unique ways to dodge. For example, Cirno's first attack has you moving fast in order to get out of harm's way, which is a lot more movement than many other Stage 2 bosses in the series. And then there's Sakuya's fight. On their own, the kunai and knives don't seem as dangerous as, say, this pattern from Touhou 10, since the bullets are spread out. But the way these bullets move around the screen requires the player to map out paths to weave through while also still piling on damage. Touhou 6 feels pretty different in terms of design this way, and I think it works out really well. Helping this is what might be my favorite extra life system in the series. You get extra lives from defeating certain mid-bosses, and when your score reaches a certain value. Importantly, the amount of lives you get feels just right. The gradual rollout of lives help keep this game balanced. So, I've talked about most of what I like about Touhou 6's core gameplay systems. Touhou 6's general design often leads to me being more engaged with dodging than I am in quite a few other Touhou games, and a nice balance of bullets and resources makes it rewarding to play. Characters. This seems like a weird section, doesn't it? But to me, this is what brings all of Touhou 6's best strengths together. In Touhou, what you think of a character isn't just determined by their dialogue, it's also determined by their fight and music. And these are things that Touhou 6 handles extremely well. Every main boss in this game has a fight that's memorable and leaves an impression. Mei Ling's previously mentioned colorful patterns mark a turning point in the series into more elaborate design. Pacioli's use of different elements paint her as a formidable mage. Sakuya's time freezing leads to a lot of effective patterns reminiscent of her main inspiration. There's so many things each character does, and all of them are accompanied by a great piece of music. Take Shanghai Alice Meiji of 17. It's a theme that opens with a fast piano section, emphasizing Mei Ling's skill and the newfound danger you're in. The song goes on into several more sections, with each one conveying the message that she's focused squarely on the fight, doing everything she can to win. And yet, the simple elegance of the instrument choices fit the use of colors and her strategies. Every song in Touhou 6 is like this for the boss fights, and that combined with the design of their patterns helps things stand out. Music. I talked about how music enhances the fights already, but it's important to mention the sheer quality of Zene's compositions. Every song in this game communicates moods well, whether it be the build-up to the final fight against Ermilia, or the triumph of charging forward against the enemy. I am not a musician, but I'd be remiss not to emphasize how incredible each song is. Those are all my thoughts about Touhou 6. Is the game kind of old? Yeah. I feel like the graphics and writing are very much a product of Zing's relative newness to game development. Even the music is distinct from later games, with it using a sound font not heard in any other Touhou game. But that being said, I think Touhou 6 still holds up today thanks to some fantastic core design. Touhou 6 is a game that very much deserves its legendary status, not just because it introduces several popular characters and songs, but also because its design is still fun and engaging to this day. Happy EOS Day, everyone.